Hello, everybody. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. Have your say, late night edition. The boys are here. Clive is on his way. We're here to talk about what the fuck is going on at West Ham United Football Club. To my right, you know who he is, all the way from the US of A. And down the bottom there is Mitchell. Lads, how are you on this fine evening?
I know how Mitch feels. He feels free, patriotic, and he's got a shooter in his lap.
I'm as much of an American as Lucas is. Lucas is Croatian, so
yeah, we just learned that.
We're transatlantic. Yeah,
my great granddad is American.
Mm.
I'm a Yank, motherfucker. I'm a Yank.
Oh,
homies. That's my homies.
Mate, don't even dare do that again, bro. Trust me, you be sacked. You be sacked, bro. Right, let's talk about West Ham. What the fuck is going on? That's the first question. It's all kicked off today. A £40 million bid's gone in tonight for Conor Gallagher, which I think
apparently
is over the top.
So.
I think it is. I think it is. Someone just messaged me on.
Fabrizio tweeted it after you sent that link, Mitch.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Right, and someone messaged me the betting odds on it because the market is suspended on Conor Gallagher going to West Ham at the moment. So 40 million, not good. Talk to me, Lucas. What are you saying?
Yeah, with the recent news of Conor Gallagher, I really don't know how to feel.
Yeah.
Again, people that are not on the James Ward-Prowse train. I actually feel like we could maybe come together on this, but like if we're talking £40 million and you had to pick between Conor Gallagher and James Ward-Prowse, I do still think James Ward-Prowse is the better player, but that was the whole thing with like Conor Gallagher and some other players for me, or James Ward-Prowse, like 40 mil for Conor Gallagher. I don't know. Like I do like him, but he's not. I don't see him as a £40 million player, but it is what it is. He's not coming in to replace Rice. This is definitely more of a Souček replacement, and I do think he is an upgrade on Souček, and I do like the type of player he is. But again, for that price, I don't know.
But is he worth 40 million? That's the real question.
The Crystal Palace Conor Gallagher, I would say is.
Yeah.
And if we could get that reincarnation of his time at Palace, I would say maybe.
What you saying, Mitch? Conor Gallagher, 40 million. Breaking news.
I've had about 10 minutes to kind of stew it in my brain. And if it is 40 million, I think it's a bit overpriced, but I'm kind of changing my way I look at pricing now. Like this market this year has been ridiculous. Let's be real. Rice is not worth 105 million. Like I don't think he is, and I think if you say he is, then you'll be.
It's worth what you pay.
But exactly. So at the same time, I think so many players have been overpriced this window. Rice being included. It is being overpaid, but if Moyes sees Gallagher and goes, I want you to replace Souček, that is a big positive, first of all, that he does see that as a big need to go and spend 40 million on a box midfielder like Gallagher, because then Souček get the fuck out of the fucking team. And then we can move forward. And Gallagher, yes, it is a bit overpriced, but I would like a good box midfielder. I do think he will suit our system with the way Moyes likes to play.
Yeah. And real quick, before we get into the huge topic of today, I just looked up Conor Gallagher's FBref, and the stats look really, really good. Again, I'm not a gigantic numbers guy, but like the FBref scouting report, in my opinion, is a decent tool to look at in terms of just like what a player does, and especially if he's in like the Premier League, I think it's a good tool. But I really like what I see so far. I'll just go quickly. 81.8% pass completion. It's in the 46th percentile, but that's not too bad, especially like if you're replacing Souček and playing in that kind of role.
Yeah, he's a very direct player.
66th percentile in progressive passes, 81% percentile in progressive carries, 79th percentile of take-ons, 96 passes or progressive passes received, and then 77 in tackles, 72 in interceptions, 96th percentile in blocks. And surprisingly, 63rd percentile in aerial duels won. So And again, I think the goals could come with him as well if he takes up positions as good as Souček, but we'll see.
Is it true the bid's been rejected?
No, I don't think it's been rejected. A bid's got in tonight.
It's tweeted that our offer's been rejected by Chelsea. Jacob Steinberg said it.
Just now?
Yeah, apparently so. And I'll tell you what, if that's true, I would not.
If they want more, then they can get done. Do you know what I mean? Obviously,
I'm actually surprised, but I actually think that bid was going to get accepted if it's 40 million. That's fucking ridiculous.
Apparently it's between us and Tottenham, and I could see Tottenham overpaying more than us. But again, Tottenham don't need him.
But do we really need him? That's the real question.
Yes, I do think we need him.
Fielder, yeah.
Yeah, Chelsea have rejected the offer and want more. West Ham are not willing to go higher. Good night. God bless. That
was quick. That was quick.
Game over, mate. I just see it there. You know what I mean?
That's bullshit. That is bullshit.
Yeah,
this is what I'm talking about, the window. So everyone just wants more. Everyone knows that we sold Rice for so much money. So I'm expecting every player, every team to want loads of money.
Yeah, but he's not worth 40 million, bruv. I don't care what anyone says. He's a good player, but he's not worth 40 million. He's Chelsea's fucking backup midfielder as good as. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's not really pulling down any trees. And for 40 million or higher than 40 million, he certainly isn't worth it. Right, let's get into Moyes and STEIDTEN. Fucking hell, what's going on there, Lucas? Talk to me.
Yeah, a lot of reports today. I know Clarendon Hugh came out today and said that basically the transfer committee is made up of Sullivan, Moyes, STEIDTEN, and Noble. But then X came out today on his podcast and said that's not the case. It's more Moyes, Sullivan, and STEIDTEN, which when you think about it more, that does make a lot more sense, because how can you decide on a player if you're voting with 4 people? That's an even number. You can't do that. Or, I mean, you can do that, but it's a bit weird. Doesn't really make sense. So, but yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot to unravel with the whole transfer policy situation and how the committee is running, because there's a lot of people that think we just brought STEIDTEN in for our own gain, but I actually have a different opinion on it. I think Kretinsky may have brought STEIDTEN in
100%
for the future, and then you have the weird situation of Moyes, who has a year left on his contract, and in my opinion, you can't really blame Moyes for some of the players that he wants to try to bring in, because he is, at the end of the day, fighting for his job essentially on 1 year left on his
It's not good enough though, bruv. It's not good enough. I done something earlier on another YouTube channel, big up Bubbling Irons, yeah? And I was on there and I turned around and said that Moyes is playing a dangerous game here, big time. Yeah, I get he's trying to save his job, but why the fuck is STEIDTEN here then? Why is he here? If you bring a man in to find you quality talent all around Europe and you go against him, what's the point?
It's either one of two things. It's either he's going to be here for next season if Moyes goes, or if Moyes stays. And I think, I don't know, it's just a lot to unravel, and it's a bit of a weird situation. But I've always looked at it as, I think Kretinsky may have gone out of his way to get him in, because from previous reports and stuff, I don't think Kretinsky is the biggest Moyes fan. I don't think he dislikes him, but in terms of maybe the way or some of the players he wants in, he's not a big fan of the way Moyes recruits or the players he likes. And I don't know. It's a tricky situation.
It's not good. Right, before I get Clive and Mitch in, I'm going to say my bit. Moyes needs to put his finger out of his arse and decide that and go with what STEIDTEN says. STEIDTEN knows what he's talking about, mate. He finds talent all around Europe and he's turning them down. And the reason why he's turning them down is because Moyes is going for tried and tested players to save his fucking job this year. 100%. He's going with people that he doesn't want to bed in. He wants people who he can rely on, who he knows can do the job, like a Scott McTominay, like an Harry Maguire, things like that, right? And that's where the problem lies, right? Moyes is looking at short term, whereas STEIDTEN's looking at buying young and knowing that these talented players will go on to be really, really good players and even move for a hell of a lot of money, whereas Moyes is looking to sign players for the here and now to save his job. And that's what I believe. Do you know what I'm saying? Clive, what you're saying on what you've heard today about STEIDTEN and Moyes? You on mute.
Yeah, you're right. I am on mute. Silly me. Yeah, I was saying this
Xbox
earlier
update.
to. I was saying this earlier to Mitch on Twitter. I don't necessarily fully buy it that them two are the issue here. Like, yeah, all right, they might be clashing. Yeah, okay, they're not going to agree with things, but how many people in a boardroom agree with everything
We'll
that
be back in
you're
a
going to
minute.
say or do? But my issue is, who is Steinen's boss and who is Moyes' boss? They have the same boss. So the middleman, i.e. the chairman, should be getting them to sort of agree to disagree on certain things, sort of compromise on certain aspects, and bring them together. Because at the end of the day, who hired and who fires them? The same person fires them, same person hires them.
You know what a good owner would do? They'd say, we're going to bring in 4 players. I'll get your 2, we'll get the other 2, and we'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But I think there must be compromises on a couple of the players, because I don't know if you've seen the amount of players we seem to have been linked with on Sky Sports News today. I've seen like 4 or 5 players' names on there.
I'm real, mate. Go on.
But at the same time, like two of those players, we're not going to buy if we buy one because they're the same position, for instance. So
Right.
I think that there must be some aspects. I mean, we've seen that obviously the Man City deal was basically agreed for Bourget, or whatever he wants to be called. I'm trying to copy Dharmesh Chef now with how he says Borges, but like that one's been agreed in principle. Then it's not like we haven't put in a bid for Paulinho. We know we have. It's just whether we go up for another 10 million or not, which I think we shouldn't. And then so clearly there are a couple of players that we can go for where there is an agreement between everyone. But it's just a case of it's been a bit of a slow hog. I know with Maguire, we're speaking both loan and permanent, but I don't necessarily think Maguire's a bad option.
40 million for you, yes or no?
What, Maguire?
For Gallagher.
For Gallagher, no, not 40 mil, 25.
I agree. That's the first time I've ever agreed with fucking Clive in my life.
25, and the only other aspects I could see is because obviously I know Gallagher's quite young. I could see like a sell-on clause, 10%, something like that, and perhaps like an add-on fee, like if he does certain things. Say if West Ham get back in Europe in his first 5-year deal, then you get an extra 5 million.
For me, before I ask Mitch what he thinks on what's gone on today, that's a panic. Like it's panic stations now. It's like, oh fuck it, we just chuck a 40 million bid to Conor Gallagher. He's not worth 40 mil. I know people were saying in the chat he's a good player, he's this, he's that, but is he worth 40 million? Like when you can go and get Lavia out of Southampton for an extra 10 million, who's got a massive higher ceiling than him.
You can't say he's worth more than Harvey Barnes, who just got sold for what, 37, 39 mil?
38 million.
Yeah. Well, sorry, right in between.
Bang on. Do you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Mitch, what you're saying about Steidten, Moyes, what the hell was going on, mate?
So, I've had a little update, and this is a bit surprising. No one's mentioned this yet. So, we've made apparently a verbal offer to Gallagher, and it's not been rejected yet. Apparently, according to X, however, it could be.
Right.
Because Chelsea are yet to accept it. And we also made a verbal offer for McTominay. But this is
fucking leave it out.
This apparently is not going to be pushed further, because apparently Man United want a lot more than what we want. So
how much do Man United want?
They want 40.
The money, the number wasn't put on.
They want 4. They want 40 from the last time I've seen.
Yeah,
they want 40.
And what else was there? Moves are expected to be made with other midfielders this week: Carvia, Edson Alvarez, possibly Fofana,
Lavia as well.
West Ham are panicking.
You mentioned Lavia today.
I didn't say about that though,
mate. I'm telling you, West Ham are panicking already. They're going around just like it's a scattergun approach. Yeah, it's like, oh, we'll put a bid in for him, and hope one of them sticks.
No, the Gallagher deal ain't off already. But and he said also Spurs are also interested. However, he reckons Chelsea are much more likely to do a deal with us.
100%, yeah, because fucking Chelsea hate Spurs. like everyone else.
Do you reckon we actually are panicking? Because how I see it is like,
are,
typically
man.
9 times out of 10, like if you look
Yeah.
at last season and the season before, most of our transfers were done in August. There's still so much time. Are we just overseeing it because we're like, oh, we've got
No,
105 mil,
no,
we
I
should be paying
disagree.
right now?
Well, when you've just sold your
We've
best,
made a single signing.
yeah,
We
not
made
one.
signings before in like end of June, start of July. We've not made a single one yet.
All
The
right,
problem
so
is-
what? Last season we obviously got Aguerd early in, but after that, all right, end of July Skamaka, but then Cornet in August, Kera in August, Emerson August,
Paqueta,
August, Lugiao August. The season before, Craig Dawson was early in, but then August, Kurt Zuma, Vlasic.
Yeah, but surely
But this year we've
that's got
sold
to change.
Rice.
Yeah,
Who's left a massive gap.
Antonio
and
looks
we've
like
still
he's
not signed a single
going.
player.
Cresswell
Yeah,
looks
but
like he's going.
Yeah, but like, do you not have faith in the team to succeed in at least the first 3 games?
No way, not a chance.
Really?
Yeah,
The only person we've lost is
Souček and Souček and Downs in midfield. Fuck
Nah,
We do need a
against Bournemouth, Luton, and then the third match will be
Yeah.
tough. But
no,
the first
our
two,
our 4 games are as follows: Bournemouth, Chelsea, Brighton away, yeah, and then Luton. And you think, well, we're just going to turn up with fucking Souček and fucking Downs in midfield? Fucking hell, I'd rather.
Look,
I
we
think
never
we do
beat
need at
Brighton
least one
anyways.
midfielder.
I
Whether it
would
be
panic.
box to box or
Fucking-
defensive midfielder. It needs to. I think we do need one by that time.
When you know, listen, right? I'm going to say this quite fucking openly, yeah. When you know that you're going to fucking sell Declan Rice, yeah, and he's one of your best players, why wasn't there a bidding the next day for the player? Why wasn't
I
it?
Because we
reckon
needed
it's
the
taken
money.
us far too long.
No. You sell Declan Rice, signed, sealed, delivered. Next day, you go bang. That's the man I'm going for, right? They go and drop a stupid bidding for Paulinho for 40 million, which is never going to get accepted. Yeah, and they go and drop another bidding for 50 million for Paulinho, which is never going to get accepted when they want 80.
Yeah, but the offer.
I reckon it's down to Stein Moyes thing, disagreements.
Yeah.
No, the offer put in for Paulinho is not a disrespectful offer. It's just Fulham's offer is way overpriced.
Yeah, but is it though, Clive? Because
Yes.
Yeah, because we could say that about Deck. Yeah, we sold Deck for 105 million pounds. Yeah, right. Arsenal come in with a bid for 80 million. We're never going to accept that because we want 100 million plus. Yeah, so Fulham have got all the cards here. Yeah, they've got him on a long-term contract. They don't need to sell. They're not financially in any difficulty.
Is it? Yeah, they're not. It's not about whether you're in financial difficulty. Fulham might want to sell on the basis of being good in the FFP. Like, if they sell, they can buy multiple players. I actually think it's in Fulham's best interest to sell, realistically.
I personally always said along. I would have paid maximum 60 million for Paulinho.
Well, that ain't. They've fucked it now. I mean,
yeah,
Paulinho's dislocated his shoulder, so.
Yeah, but like, I still think Fulham might panic towards the end of August. But I think regardless, like, they could be getting 80 million for 2 of their players that are well, one of them's aging in terms of Mitrovic, and in terms of Paulinho, if they keep him for his whole contract, they're not going to get 50 million for him when he's 33.
It's a weird one because I wouldn't necessarily say scattergun because a lot of these bids we put in have been for players we've targeted. I would say scattergun if it was for random players that we haven't heard about through or others.
It is a scattergun approach, mate. Right? You've only got to look
how
at,
can it be scatterguns when there are targets? We've had.
But are they our targets, mate?
They've been mentioned by.
I'd say scattergun. The fact we've literally
I've been to
make an
Burnley.
offer for Alvarez this year. This thing we want to sign Zakaria. We've made verbal offer for McTominay. We've made an offer for
scattergun
Gallagher now. There's not been one player we've gone, that's our number 1 target. It was Paulinho. But now it's all gone to scattergun since Paulinho.
It's a scattergun approach, right? It is 100%. Yeah, I've been to fucking Burnley and back. Yeah, and still we've had no signings. And like that was 3 weeks ago. And I'm sitting there in an hotel in Burnley, talking about Zakaria, and fucking still nothing's happened. And you've got the questions you've got to ask is why has nothing happened? Yeah. West Ham, I'm not being funny enough, I think, they do this all the fucking time. They leave it late, they fuck about, and then they just go around and try and grab anyone they can. Yeah. Don't be surprised if Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain ends up at West Ham. Mark my words. He's a free transfer, right? It would not fucking surprise me.
I want him.
Fucking hell, Clive. Alex
No,
Oxlade-Chamberlain.
I mentioned this towards the end of the season. I said, watch teams around us go for him, and we miss out on something. It's a free fucking transfer. What's not to like? Put him on a bit of a lower wage. If he ain't interested, let him go somewhere else.
I'll tell you what I don't like: his footballing ability.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that bad.
You know what? I've got to agree with Clive.
Ugh,
I
disgusting.
think as an addition, purely as an addition, no.
Thank you.
Not-
Yeah, I agree.
It's
As
not
an
got to be
addition,
not as a player
good
that's going to
squad
start for us each
rotation.
week as our
No,
number
good
8.
squad.
But
Good squad rotation.
if he's fit, and say one of Paqueta will say Gallagher or Ward-Prowse, whoever was either playing, was
How
a bit
many
out of
games
form
would he
or
even
was struggling
play?
for fitness.
Yeah, but
Oxlade-Chamberlain
think
in.
about it. We always forget this until it comes round. But at Christmas time, we're going to be playing Thursday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, Tuesday, Saturday. Like the games come in quick and fast.
Damage.
Knew that was coming.
I'm
Yeah, that was
fucking
coming.
emotionally
Like-
damaged, bruv, honestly. I
No,
really
but the
am.
games come in
Update.
quick
I'm
and
gonna
fast,
check
and
back
then
in
we
a sec.
don't. And then we don't have enough for squad rotation, and we go, oh look, our form's dipped. Well, yeah, well done, Sherlock. Of course, our form's dipped. We don't have enough players.
Yeah, but listen, I understand what you're saying, Clive. Yeah, I do. Right, I really, really do. I hear you. Yeah.
If he's willing to just sit on the bench and play maybe 10 matches on it, if he starts or comes off the bench on 50K a week, maybe.
Fucking
But-
50K a week. Fuck me, you're generous.
Like-
Fuck
Like,
me.
look, how I see it is, yeah, if you actually look at his stats, right? Albeit, yes, I know he's injury prone. I get that. I appreciate it. It's not like we haven't gone for injury prone players before, and I'm sure some of them were hyped up. But let's be honest, we've gone for Jack Wilshere. We've gone for fucking so many injury prone players in the past. So it's nothing new. Usually we go, oh, let's spend 20 million and we know he's injury prone.
Yeah.
At least this is a free transfer. But like last season, all right, he only played 9 games, but ultimately he was actually fit last season, and he only played 9 because Liverpool didn't have any they didn't need to utilize him. The season before he played 17. The season before that he played 13.
The
But,
problem
you know,
is, right?
that's how many
right,
he'd play.
I hear you, yeah, I do. But on June the 8th, right, a day after our best fucking moment in 43 years, our owner comes out and says we're selling Declan Rice, or he's available. Yeah. So what I can't understand is why the fuck there is not one man here. There's not one, right? Not even a loan signing, right? We can't get a loan signing over the fucking line at the minute. Like Zakaria, why is Zakaria not here? Right? Do you know what I'm saying?
Because,
He should be.
but that's because there's the debate of not because of the club. That's because of the club we're buying him from. They want him out on a permanent. We're trying to say, look, we would like to get a loan deal. I think the problem is we've got so much Mueller at the moment in terms of from the Rice sale that we're like, oh, we want to buy XYZ players. But if we buy XYZ players, how much are we going to have left in the bank? Will we have enough to then buy Zakaria? So then in 3 weeks' time, we can go, actually, do you know what? We'll give in, we'll buy Zakaria instead of loaning to get him with the agreement of buying him in a year's time. So
Yeah.
I think in part that is partially the issue, because the thing is, if we end up having to spend a little bit over the odds for players, let's say Paulinho for the sake of it, you know, if we thought we could only spend 50 million on him, that's 10 million we've now lost if we get him for 60 mil, because, you know, that's 10 million. That's basically almost the asking price for Zakaria. So that's why we want to go for a loan.
Right. Let's be honest, yeah. And I understand what people are saying. Like, I got this here, yeah. We lost our number 1 target last night for injury. Calm down. Bruv, he should have been in the door. Should have been in the fucking door a long time ago. You don't drop 40 million on a player that someone has told you is 80 million. Just don't do it. Right? If you're serious and that's your number 1 target, you drop 55, 60 million on him to make Fulham think about it. You don't drop 40 million knowing that they're going to reject it. And let's be honest.
I agree that is silly. It don't really make sense for us to bid 40 million.
It don't, Mitch. And that's the problem that I keep saying, yeah, is that you don't go and put a bid in when you know, right? Did any of you think that Paulinho was going to come for 40 million? Honestly, be honest.
No, but I genuinely thought he'd go for 50 or 55. I think,
Right.
like, let's put it this way, yeah. We said 120 for Rice, right? The first
Correct.
bid that came in was 80, 70?
80,
something like that?
no,
It was 80 in total.
Yeah,
80 in total, right? Okay, so that's 40 short, yeah? So that's 40 short, okay? We're talking about a lesser amount, and we've come in 40 short, and we're moaning as if, like, it's ridiculous. Because let's be honest, if you take away 20 million, that's where Fulham's max would be. in my eyes, our max was 100 because I took away 20 million. Like
Yeah.
when you put in money for a house, you don't go, oh, I know what I'm going
Yeah.
to do. Full on asking price. You go
Exactly.
under, and
I-
then you sort of try and meet in the
I
middle,
get
right?
that, Clive. Listen, I understand that totally. Yeah, right. Through sort of business, yeah, that's what you do. You start off low and then you work your
Yeah.
way up. But one thing you don't do is you don't put a bid in where you know deep down it's just never going to get accepted
But
in the first place.
did they ever say that it was going to take 80 before we put 40 in? I think we put 40
I
in
think
and
it was
then they
around the
demanded
time,
80.
wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was around the time we put in
So
the bid. But
it's
the
a bit
thing
different.
is, the problem is we're all privy to transfers with social media and obviously with Sky Sports just having sources left, right, and freaking center. But you know,
And
so
more
in
than
that
half
way,
the
like,
time, it's just bullshit.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like how I see it is, okay, yeah, they've bidded 40, but like someone's just come out and told the Sky source. Like I reckon West Ham would rather have kept that quiet until we were in a position where it's like, actually, we did try, but Fulham are just dicks.
If Fulham came out first and said we wanted 80 million and we bid 40, that's a piss take. I'd agree, but
Right,
I don't think that came out until after we made a bid of 40.
Now, I'm seeing this, yeah. Well, big up Tay, yeah. I had a good chat with Tay in the space last night. Big up to that kid, yeah. Well, a lot of respect for that kid. He's doing well in life. Yeah, James, 50 million is a realistic bid. I don't get what your argument is. My argument is if you seriously want this man, and he's the man to sort of replace Declan Rice, who have just sold for 100+ million pounds, you go out and put a serious bid in to make Fulham think about it. 40 million is not making Fulham think about it. It's making them go, don't take the piss out of me. We're not interested. And let's be real. Yeah. Right. There was absolutely no chance, right, ever that they're going to accept that. And when you come back with 50 million, yeah, they've still said no, it ain't going to happen because Fulham hold all the cards, right? The only way that happens and that transfer happens is if Paulinho puts a transfer
Well, they don't hold
request
the
in.
cards now.
Well, no, he's injured now, isn't he? But so do you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, if Paulinho put a transfer request in, then it would push Fulham to think about it. Yeah. At the minute, he ain't done nothing, has he? He's just still there. So, is what it is at the
I
minute.
don't know.
Do
You
know
can
what I'm
look
saying?
at it both ways about holding cards. I mean, we put in a 50 million pound bid, and mind you, while we put this in, they were in a bit of disarray. Marcus Silva was rumored to leave. Mitrovic is leaving. So really, like, we did at one point, if rumors are true, have some sort of leverage. And let's be honest, if Paulinho were to go to Fulham hierarchy and say, I want to leave, I'm going, and he pushed for it, we would have gotten him.
And also, like, it's not like we've taken a piss and gone, all right, how about 40 million plus 5 in add-ons? We've gone back in 10 million more.
Yeah, because if a player wants to leave, they will do what they have to do to leave.
Yeah, like Paulinho hasn't come out and said anything. In actual fact, watch Marco Silva's press conference the other day, and it was more about him. I didn't see anything about Paulinho.
I agree. Yeah,
I saw about Mitrovic. I saw about Mitrovic, and then the other half of the conference was all about, so Marco, have you accepted or have you not? And he was like, I'm not telling you. And it was just the repeat of the same thing. So, you know, the Paulinho thing didn't even crop up. So until it actually crops up in press conferences, I don't think there's enough pressure.
Right. Before I get to Mitch, please do smash a like on the video and please do subscribe to the channel. All you who's are watching, 129 years. Yeah, I mean, we're real on this channel, so please do subscribe and please do hit the fucking like button. Mitch, talk to me about obviously STEIDTEN though, yeah, because we have got a bit of a problem with in regards of him, yeah, because he's picking players out for Moyes and basically Moyes is saying no. So what do we do?
It is a problem. If Sullivan's hired him, knowing the kind of profile that STEITTEN's scattered in terms of players beforehand, and it isn't what's the word? Coalition. Gel. Yeah, it doesn't really gel with what Moyes is building or what Moyes' type of players are. And it's a poor decision from Dave Sullivan. However, I think Sullivan's always been that kind of owner to ignore it and just go, I want players. I want those kind of quality players. Sullivan likes a foreign player. He likes players from foreign leagues. I think
he also likes buying players that Moyes doesn't want.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, and look, I kind of understand where Sullivan comes from in a weird way because I do feel like Moyes' targets sometimes are very shit, very average. I mean, he wanted Josh King. over
Yeah.
Benrahma, which wound me up at the time. And I get sometimes his targets are good, but Moyes is definitely pushing the move. McTominay Steidten wouldn't have recommended or wanted McTominay. That's got Moyes all over it. He's Scottish
Yeah.
as well, and it's just not a player we want. And same with Maguire. So
I don't have an
kind
issue
of-
with the Maguire thing.
I don't either. I'd take him at West Ham.
Yeah,
I
Not
just
for
think,
me.
that, but the price is ridiculous. They want 40 million. I don't.
Yeah,
yeah,
no, that
I agree.
with.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with the price thing, but I think that's more because they paid an extortionate amount. They just want to recoup. But
The whole Stein and Moyes thing, it is so weird because I'm not on the boat that like Stein is some footballing god or genius, but
Well,
he's got
highly
got-
rated, though, Lewis.
listen, he's got a good track record, but he's not God. He's not like one of the greatest in the world. He's a good director of football. He's got a good eye for players, but Moyes has been around the block for a very long time, so you can't totally discredit what he prefers. I mean, but there's got to be some sort of compromise to be like met.
Well, let's put it
I mean,
this way, right?
spoiler
Let's put it
alert:
this way.
Tim Steidten was actually hired just to become Declan Rice's replacement.
Yeah,
More than likely.
And I don't agree with the whole. And obviously, it's not true. Like Stein's brought in to be a punching bag or a scapegoat. That's just totally wrong.
Yeah,
I
but
think.
Lucas, right? Let's put it this way, yeah. On the one hand, you've got David Moyes, who, let's be honest, he's trying to save his job. Yeah, because if it goes wrong
Okay.
at the start of the season, yeah, it's all on him, big time. Yeah. On the other hand, can he trust Steidten with the targets that he's picking to come in and hit the ground running straight away?
Wait, hold on. So, correct me if I'm wrong here. Is Rob Newman still confirmed to be at West Ham, or is he?
Yeah, he's still
kicked
here.
off?
He's still there.
Yeah.
so
So
where-
where does
he makes the coffees at the minute?
Yeah, but isn't his role to be recruiting whilst Tim Steidten's supposed to be a technical director? No.
Yeah, but
Good
apparently he's
question.
not part of the committee, and apparently he looks a bit out the door. That's maybe why he's not
Yeah.
having his say on things.
But this is what I mean. Like the thing is, we've got too many chefs in one kitchen, which is what I keep saying about the ownership. We have too many owners, and now we've got too many blimmin' backroom fools.
The thing is, the
That's
way
the
I look at
issue.
it is, yeah, but the thing is, the way I look at it is, yeah, is that on the one hand, Moyes is trying to go with tried and tested players who he knows that could come in and do a job like a Maguire, like a Scott
But
McTominay.
is that bad?
It's not bad,
Oh, yeah, exactly.
but mugging off sort of Steidten in a way to say, you know what, I'm going to go with what I feel, when Steidten can go out there and get maybe two or three gems, like
James,
you can't have it both ways, can you?
Would you? Yeah, but James, would you rather spend 105 million, hypothetically, right? We're going to spend all of the money on
Right.
everyone that's between 15 and 21, right?
Right.
Okay, hold with me here, right?
I'm with you,
And-
Clive.
And because every single one of those players is inexperienced, they haven't reached their potential yet, and they're just
Right.
thrown into the first team, all of a sudden we're in relegation battle. And
Right.
we might not survive. Or would you rather not have a mix? 30 million spent on some youngsters, little kiddies over here, and
Right.
75 million spent on the face. I deliberately said little kiddies like that.
Right.
And 75 spent on, some people that might not necessarily know the Premier League, but they have a bit of experience, and also some players that do know the Premier League.
Right.
We
Well,
need
I'll
the
put it up-
mixture.
I understand that, but if Moyes was on a 3-year deal, yeah, you could do that. Moyes has got 1 year left, and let's be honest, and I will say this to the people in my chat, and tell me if they agree or disagree. Moyes can't start off bad like he did last season. So what he's doing is
Yeah, I
he's
agree.
going with people who he feels can come in and hit the ground running straight away. Listen, one thing we can't do is bring people to West Ham and give them time to bed into the club. Right? Moyes doesn't have time.
But Stein's
Yeah,
approach, that would be the case.
Yeah, that's
but-
what I mean.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But Moyes is looking at it from his own end, thinking, right, I want to do it my way, because if it goes wrong, then it falls on me.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, when you're on a 1-year deal and you need to prove yourself, the only man that you can really trust is yourself. And I'm not saying that's right, but at the end of the day, who would Moyes rather hold the cards of his destiny in his own
Yeah.
hands or Stein's?
Well, that's
I
what I'm
think-
saying.
Do you know what? I think in a
like
weird
man to
way-
man, I can respect that, but I don't know. Just I don't necessarily blame Moyes, but is it the
Yeah,
right approach? That's up for debate.
I think in a weird way, the problem we also face is like Moyes has been at West Ham when we didn't have a director of football or a recruitment thing and all these other XYZ roles that we're now creating, right? So Moyes is used to doing it in a certain caliber of style, which is he utilizes his backroom staff, he utilizes his team, his scouts. Everything is the way he's been used to. And obviously that's something that he's probably had at most football clubs because all these positions are sort of new in the last decade or so, I'd say, right? So the problem is until you have a manager that's coming into a club that knows that these people are in these positions of power, whether it's a Rob Newman, whether it's a Tim Steidten, or even whether it's both or someone else in the future, right? These positions are already embedded. The problem is these positions are brand new. Obviously, Tim Steidten, what we've also got to remember is he was only hired as of the 1st of July, right? So in 24 days, he's probably barking up the wrong trees, probably stepping on toes, but maybe a little bit too much. You know, this is why there needs to be a mediator. We need to have Sullivan go.
Moyes is just Moyes is a stubborn man, though, bruv. Yeah, and he will do it his way. Like he's always has been a stubborn man. He's stubborn in his approach. He's stubborn with his team.
Yeah, but
like
anyone that's good, anyone that's good is stubborn or.
Well, I mean, get in line. Our owner is the most stubborn of them all.
Yeah, but if the owner is giving you
stubborn.
Yeah, but if the owner brings in a man who's highly recommended, and highly rated, and Steiden's finding players for Moyes, and Moyes is turning them down. And someone said this the other day. I'm not sure who said it. I think it might have even been Claret and Boots who said it, which was a good point. Yeah, are we going to be in a situation where fucking you got Moyes on one hand, Steiden on the other hand? They both pick 3 players each, and Steiden's players don't get fucking played because Moyes will want to go with his ones. You know what he's like when he doesn't sign his players. If players are given to him, he's like, nah, fuck that. I don't want to know.
But what if they weren't ready?
Not necessarily. Like Ben Rama was a Sullivan signing, and Ben Rama started playing.
But how long it took though, Mitch? How long it took Ben Rama?
Yeah, but we don't watch them at training though, do we? Like, I'd like to think it is based on training and not, oh, I just don't like you. You're a fucking Sullivan.
And I think we all know that Moyes is a bit of a training Nazi. He takes it incredibly serious.
And that's the thing. Like, I think.
Which I don't blame.
He's all about earning. Yeah, he's all about earning it. And to be honest, if you think about it, you spend 90 minutes on the pitch versus how many hours per week and how many days per week are you training? A shit ton more.
This is the big problem, right? I think the whole boardroom, it's literally every man for himself besides Steiden because he's so new, right? David Sullivan and I think Moyes, they don't clash, but they are both stubborn. So it is like they're battling against each other sometimes. And Stein's just kind of sitting over there. He's brand new. He's just doing his job. But it's so incredibly bad.
But let me put this sort of scenario to you. Yeah, Steiden comes to him. They go in the boardroom because it ain't nothing to do with Mark Noble. You said that earlier on Twitter. Yeah, so it's Steiden, Moyes, and Sullivan. Yeah, they go into
and surely Rob Newman.
Mind you, one of those is not a footballing mind at all.
Yeah, but Rob Newman walks in with a cup of tea and biscuits. You know what I mean, with the digestives and shit. Yeah, right. They're talking about players, right? Steiden mentions, say, 2 players, and Moyes is just going to go, "No, I don't want them."
I would say this. If David Sullivan was not the owner of this club, I'd probably side more on Steiden's side, honestly. But
why?
Because new owner, Kretinsky kind of, I don't know, Kretinsky gives me a vibe that he's just all business. And David Sullivan, he's all about business, but in a really bad way. Really bad.
David Sullivan's about yachts and boats and hoes.
Yeah.
He's also looking at not spending out silly money for fucking players who are over the hill, though. Also, well, not over the hill, but £60 million on certain men.
And plus, Stein is not Sullivan's man. That's Kretinsky's man. So again, that's just another factor of just everyone being against each other. Even Kretinsky and Sullivan, they probably don't really see eye to eye because Sullivan just looks at him as he's just waiting in the wings and he's my puppet for as long as I want. Until I decide to sell.
I think Moyes deserves all the. I think Steiden deserves all the responsibility with scouting and getting in the right players and recommendations because I don't trust Moyes with scouting and the signings because of all
I
the
agree.
names he's plucked out, and it was plucked out in January and the season before, where Moyes apparently likes this player. It's just always been very underwhelming, and the recommendations all of a sudden that starting is recommending like Yusuf Fofana is exactly the type of player and caliber of player that I think we should be looking at. And for Moyes, and this is true because X said it, for Moyes to say he's got other targets in mind compared to Fofana just makes you think that's wrong. That is wrong. If you
I
put
agree.
McTominay in
Agree.
over Fofana, I think that's just really crazy.
See,
it's more
100%
safe,
agree.
but it's the risk reward with getting someone like Fofana in is why the best teams do it. It's why the top teams are there. You can't be going for McTominay.
But then people are going to complain that they're not good. They're not bedded in fast enough. When in reality, you've got to choose. You either got to be patient or you want immediate impact.
Yeah, but would you be saying that, Lucas?
Not just because you buy Fofana league doesn't mean they're going to be shit.
Hold on. Would you be
agree.
saying that? Would you be saying that if Moyes had a 2-year deal? If Moyes had 2 years, would you be saying that? Honestly.
Yeah, but I've said this about Moyes and
People
having
were
1 or
this
2 year
last year
deal
with
anyway.
Paqueta, and look how he turned out.
Yeah, but
Like-
what I'm saying is, like what Mitch has just said there is fucking spot on.
Yeah, but managers are not guaranteed their job, even if they've got a 5-year or 3-year deal.
Exactly.
Right. Listen, you've got 2 players. You've got Scott McTominay to the left. You've got Fofana on the right. You've got a Scottish international or you've got a France international, right? You've got one who could you possibly get for between 25 and 30 million, and Manchester United want 40 million for Scott McTominay.
And we put a verbal offer in for McTominay.
And you tell me what's the better deal? The better deal is Fofana all day long. If you can't see
that
you're
is
blind.
why it gives me and James, me and you, and people like us no faith whatsoever, and you boys might agree as well, in Moyes' targets, which is why I think Sullivan just go fucking Steidten. You have all the power for scouting. You let Moyes focus on coaching, purely on coaching, and find out what players should go at the club. And Steidten, you focus on what players should come in and recommend them all to Moyes.
I mean, I wouldn't say that scenario is like it's not a bad comparison, but at the end of the day, like I would take Fofana all day long because not only is he cheaper, he definitely is better than Scott McTominay. I don't know why United want 40 million for him, but at the end of the day, both of them were not really Premier League proven. Like Scott McTominay is not proven in my opinion.
I mean, United wanted 20 million for Jesse Lingard when he only had 12 months left on his contract. So this is just United.
So, but it's all to do with the contract, though, isn't it? Because what it is, yet again, and I'll say it again, when a team's got control of the man's contract and the man is not dictating that he wants to leave, then they can offer whatever they like. Man United could offer 60 million if they wanted to,
which is fine.
Yeah,
and they can keep him. Please.
Yeah, they can keep him.
100%, mate. 100%. Do you know what I mean?
Harry Maguire, on the other hand, I would take all day long.
Smash the like button, people. Get us to 100 likes tonight. It makes sense.
My big thing though is it's like I feel like it's hard to have your cake and eat it too because people want immediate results or like it's just not. If you want to bring in players from outside the league, and again, I'm not saying when you do that makes them bad players, but there is a betting in period, and people complain about that, which I don't get. I really don't get it.
But Irons says this, yeah? Big up to Irons, whoever you are out there on that fucking planet, bruv. Bedding in players is the biggest myth. Look at Newcastle and watch Villa start all their new players. Moyes needs to go and can't be trusted with transfers.
It's not the biggest myth. Like you were moaning about freaking Paqueta. You were moaning about Paqueta, and it was all because we were struggling with the Premier League position. But like I always said, he needed time to be ready. Like some people do because they I don't know, they miss home or they might just not be settling in with the club, or they get a type of the game. Yeah, exactly. Like there's a lot of mentality to it.
But this is the argument that we seem to have every season. Yeah, every single fucking year. Yeah, when we do sign a player, are we going to start him against Bournemouth, or do we have to give him a couple of weeks to bed into the club?
It depends. It depends on the player, and it depends on when he's signed and when he comes and how fully fit he is. You can't say that until he turns up for a training session.
Right. So if he signs on Friday, he's going to he's not going to play against Rennes on the Saturday.
No, but he'll play against Leverkusen.
I'm talking about any player. right? So
Okay.
if we was to sign any player, are you telling me that they're going to be ready for Bournemouth away on the 12th?
Yes.
Depends on who they are.
Yeah, it depends again. But if you say to me, hold on.
Go on.
If you say to me it's, I don't know, Harry Maguire, if you say to me it's anyone that's been a part of their preseason plans, played minutes, has been fully fit, has been training
Brem
day
proven.
in, day out.
Don't even dare, yeah? Because what I'm going to say this right now to sort of kill your argument stone dead. They don't know how to play Moyes' style of play, yeah? So
but
he's going to have to...
time.
Fuck, if they want time, Mitch, they buy a fucking watch.
Then
Exactly
don't.
fucking
But
that,
then
bro.
don't.
But they've got time. The 12th of August is our first game, if I'm not mistaken. You're saying between now, a professional football player, between, let's say, the 28th of July and the 12th of August, can't embed into a system at all.
And you say that, but you hate the whole Premier League proven thing. You can't say that.
Oh,
if I want time, I'd buy a watch. You can't say. I don't agree.
James gone. The fuck?
He's gone. He's fuming.
You cannot say that if you want foreign players, because it's a contradiction. Because 90% of the time, when a foreign player comes in from France or whoever, it takes time.
At this time, can we just say that offline, James has said how much he wants Scott McTominay. He's actually going to buy a top. He's going to buy a shirt with McTominay on the back.
I'm saying nothing. I'm actually saying nothing on the fucking matter here. What I'm saying is, listen, before my fucking internet cut out, yeah, it's basically that, yeah, right. I'm going to be honest, yeah. I'm going to be as calm as I can when I say this, yeah. We should already have players here, lads. We should. Yeah, we should.
Agree. I think we can all agree on that.
Look, typically, West Ham's transfer style is we buy one or two at the end of July, and then the rest we buy between the 25th and the 31st of August. I don't like buying on transfer deadline day or the week leading up to it, because usually you end up spending more money than you should be.
Exactly.
Because it's seen as panic season, and you know the time is ticking. You've got to get through lawyers, yada yada yada, all the other bumps that comes with it, right? But you know, I have no qualms if we started signing people in the first, second week of August, where there's still 3-4 weeks left of the transfer window. Yeah, all right, they're not going to be ready perhaps for Bournemouth away or the first couple of games, but are they going to be ready for our European campaign or when the fixture list gets heavier? Yes, they will be.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, Clive, I think that point's fucking dead, bruv, if I'm being real. Yeah, I'm not being rude or disrespectful when I say that. I do, because if we lose 4 games in a fucking row, then we're bottom of the league.
Oh, if we lose 4 games in a row, I mean, that you can't say that's the transfer window's fault, because most of the players, the starting 11 that would right now start against Bournemouth, yeah, most of that starting 11 is the exact same starting 11 that we had against Fiorentina.
Not necessarily. No Declan Rice, no Antonio. Fucking, you're going to play Souček. You got Souček and fucking Downs in midfield.
So you've named 2 changes there. You've said Antonio.
I don't think there's a big
difference. No. You've said Antonio as if like Scamacca isn't an upgrade.
But yet again, there's a lot of pressure on Scamacca, and yet again, we don't even know if he's going to be here.
Yeah, I think he'll be here. But like Scamacca showed at the beginning of last season, he managed to take off the place from Antonio. He showed that he could do it, and we've got to put faith into him. But in terms of, all right, defensive midfielder, I 100% agree. Yes, all right, Downs doesn't look great. So, you know, I love my boy Souček. You know, 3 years ago today, he signed for the club.
Fucking hell, mate.
I watched this goal compilation today.
Mate,
first season was
By the way, look, you'll be able to find a comment from me in there. If you keep looking, Hixify, have a little look. You'll be able to find it.
Oh, fair enough, mate. Well, wherever that is, do you know what I mean? Right, let's talk about fucking transfers. Obviously, the Portuguese wonder kid looks like he's coming to East London.
On a positive note.
That is a good positive note. I'm going to ask you this. Whose signing is that?
I have no clue, to be honest with you.
Mitch?
I would say Moyes, maybe.
I don't think it's a collective decision between... I think Moyes has gone... I think he was on Moyes' target list, and Steins maybe has looked at the player and gone, yeah, he looks good, and gone, you know what, 14 million, let's go for it. And Sullivan likes that price as well. They've collectively gone, yeah, it's a good price.
If you had to put your money on one, it's got to be Moyes. No shot. No shots.
How funny would it be? How funny would it be if it's fucking Newman or someone? Right, someone
it could be Newman, which I don't think is like. I think Rob Newman's okay. He's been a bit like underwhelming, but like, I mean, it doesn't really matter. He seems like a good buy, but it is going to be a bit tricky because £14 million, if it goes for that, like I would hope at least that he is one of the first people off the bench because he looks absolutely rapid.
Well, if you're paying 14 million for this kid, surely he's got to be.
He'll be in the first team, 1,000%.
He has to
Ooh,
be.
do you reckon?
Yeah.
I don't.
Boys, Cornet could start off with a Corker start of the season,
Bingo.
and then he could be our left winger, our starting left winger,
Yeah.
and then everyone, and then Ben Rama's fucking watching the bench, and Borges will be watching on the bench as well, because Cornet, I keep telling people, is so criminally disrespected, and always has been.
No, I agree. It's been disrespected, but I genuinely think Cornet's got more chance than Borges to start a game or even be subbed on.
I agree, but that's only off like. He's been here for a year, so he's a bit more bedded in.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So, any other transfer news that you want to discuss, lads? We've talked about every single...
Edson Alvarez, apparently, as of today, we're going to be making a bid this week. They're talking 35 million. So,
fucking hell, mate.
I actually just want a 6 in now. As long as they're decent, I just want a fucking 6 in because I can't be seeing Dan's and Souček.
Does it work? I'm going to be honest. Right, I'll say this quite openly here. Right, I remember when we stood there when the season was over, and after obviously the conference glory, and we all sailed off into the sunset. I never forget. I was on a street, and Mitch Chandler said, "We need a 6, an out and out 6. Whoever it is, we just need someone." I am concerned that West Ham are sort of hanging about here and they're putting all their eggs in one basket with this geezer now. Like, because I think the Paulinho one's gone. Yeah, I think there's no way West Ham are going after him now, especially now.
Apparently, we are putting all eggs in one basket with Alvarez with the bid coming this week. So,
what I've seen of him, he looks like more like a fucking centre half than he does a fucking DM. Like,
yeah, but he plays multiple positions. That's where Alvarez is good because then in that situation, would you need a Harry Maguire? Maybe not, but
his passing's decent as well. And
yeah.
It reminds me a little bit, in a weird way, of Casemiro. Quite similar in terms of has played centre back before and got a similar kind of build. Not a ball carrier. He's not the best in the ball, but his passing's decent.
Yeah.
The exact same height, I'm pretty sure as well. Obviously not as good as Casemiro, but
I can see it now. Alvarez is going to be the holding back DM. You're going to see Souček go forward, and he's going to score 10 goals this season.
See, no, I can't. See, I agree we need a 6, but we can't have that. Souček and Alvarez in the midfield. No. Fuck off. I can't.
Hey, look. I will fucking get you the away kit with Souček on the back.
No, I love Souček.
You can't.
Do, but you can't have 2 statues in the midfield. You can't.
All right, fine. But Souček will be going forward this season. I guarantee it.
I'd rather get Zakaria, who I know can.
There's a question there for you, Clive. I have a question for Clive.
My bum feels fine. It's all good, and I'm very confident in what I say and what I believe. And Thomas Souček is going to be captain next season. He's going to score 10 goals. And he is the best thing.
Actually, I would love to know the odds on Souček to score 10 or more goals. I think it would be a decent punt. But
I think it is as well.
For me.
So when you put money on Souček to score 10 goals, you know what you're guaranteed? To lose your fucking money, brother.
Money back is what I'm guaranteed. And more.
That's why it's called a punt. I don't know. For me, the whole Alvarez thing, again, I don't rate him that highly. If it were me, in terms of our style of play, I want us to get Zakaria in because not only is he a 6, he's got some wiggle to him. He can drive the ball forward. He's not a statue. Is he as probably good defensively as Alvarez? No, but you cannot have Alvarez and Souček in the same midfield. You cannot.
No, you can't.
It would be a lot different. It'd be a lot different if it was Alvarez and Conor Gallagher and Paqueta. It'd be completely different. Or Zakaria and Fofana.
Everyone's taking the piss out of Souček scoring 10 goals, right? I didn't even necessarily say Premier League, but he has done 10 goals alone in the Premier League in one season.
And this is my thing. This is my thing with Zakaria. He's done it. He's done it against City, and by done it, I mean he had a very good game against City. And I'd give the guy a chance. and try and get Fofana, and you just can't have
42. Go on, I'll let you land. Go
what
on.
is it?
42 million plus 5 million add-ons for Conor Gallagher.
I'd still rather have him than
I've not
Alvarez.
seen that source pop up on my phone, so I don't know about
But
it.
No, I've just seen it here. West Ham serious. I mean, all right, yeah, it's just someone's fucking joking around with me. Also, I've got to get to this. Right, this is quite funny. Right, sort of as we come towards the end. Where is it? Where are you, Michael? It's this. Not West Ham related, but we had to laugh at Spurs apparently.
Oh, mate, that was class.
That's like fucking.
Especially when I think it was transfer day live or transfer deadline live, something like that. They're a big just transfer Twitter, and
yeah,
they tweeted something today from some newspaper or whatever, and it was just like Mbappe is definitely not interested in going.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was so good.
Fucking hell, mate. You know what I mean? That was crazy. That was crazy.
Oh, mate, I have to agree with Rob. I'm not joking. For the price and the player, I'd rather have Tyler Adams than Alvarez.
Hold on. So I can actually confirm that we've made it. Apparently,
absolutely.
Go on, Clive.
Apparently, we have made a £40 million Gallagher bid. But I've just seen Gallagher's only got 2 years left in his contract. I think that's stupid. 40 million, and he's only got 2 years left.
Fucking hell, take the piss.
Like at that point, that says to me 25 million plus 5 in add-ons is more than enough.
Again, do I agree with that evaluation and us spending it? No. But Conor Gallagher, I have no doubt, could come in right away and be a decent for us.
So let me put it this way then, right? Just for argument's sake, we sign Conor Gallagher. He ends up in the claret and blue. Then how much money is the first question have we got left to sign on another on a 6? Because we're going to need a 6 because Conor Gallagher can't do it all, right? And everyone says about Downs. And then we need a left back because Cresswell's going. We need a centre forward because Antonio's going.
I don't think we need centre forward. I don't think Antonio's going.
Yeah. Why do we need
Trossard is there, and left backs are cheap.
If Antonio goes, Mubama steps
cheap,
in.
Young left backs.
Yeah.
What we want.
Right. But
for under 20 million.
But now answer me the 6.
James,
the 6, mate, we can still spend up to 50 million. And that still isn't. Still, with them 3 players, won't even touch Rice's sale of 105 million.
Go on, Clive.
You talk about believing in our youth players and whatnot, and yet you want to sign a striker to just put Mbama on loan?
Don't get me wrong. I want Mbama to be at West Ham.
And Cornet's back, boys.
Right, but let's be honest here. Yeah, do you have any faith in Danny Ings? Because I'm going to be real.
It depends on the formation. If we play 2 up top like we've been doing a little bit in the preseason, why the fuck not?
Oh mate, where is it?
In a front 2, I have
James is feeling a little bit emotionally damaged, I think.
No.
In a front 2, there's
I'm fucking head's fucking scrambled, brother. Your bollocks, bro.
There's in 2 up front, there's a teaspoon of hope for me with Ings. There's a teaspoon of hope. Not a lot.
I think when there's 2 up top, it's a bit of a different scenario. I don't necessarily think Ings is great on the basis of, we're a counter-attacking side, and his pace is, I'm quicker than fucking Danny Ings, so that's just not much. But in that sense, yeah. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and be like, Danny Ings is great, but at least he knows where the fucking net is.
Right, listen, right, I'm going to say this, yeah. Mbamba, I think he's a very, very good player. I do want him to stay at West Ham and get minutes next season, right? Danny Ings is I'm a bit 50-50 with, because Alfie got it spot on. Alfie said he just doesn't work at West Ham. Yeah, and Alfie got it right.
Yeah, but that's because it's 1 up top, though. That was because it was 1 up top. Everyone knows that he doesn't work well as a lone striker.
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'm just not on the Ings one. And also Skamaka, right? There's a lot of pressure on Skamaka and all. Right? If he don't perform, then he's going to be fucking in the final.
There's loads of pressure on Skamaka, though.
Yeah, what's the pressure on him?
What? Well, this season?
Actually, what he's done...
I think there's major pressure on him.
Nah, I actually disagree. I think there's no pressure on him.
He scored a fair amount of goals, and he played a lot less minutes.
You know why there's no pressure on him? Because of everything that's happened this season. If he fucks it, he goes. If he doesn't, it's like it's a good look. He's got nothing to lose.
He's not the new signing now, so no one's looking at him to bag all the goals.
Yeah.
And Mitch, if I hear you complain about him not celebrating a goal this season, I'm going to absolutely cave you in.
Okay, so me and Lucas have this little thing. Now, I thought Haller was a cunt. A cunt. Yeah.
Who's this?
Haller.
Haller.
Ultimate Haller.
Oh, Haller.
Because I knew he didn't want to be here. I could tell that. And people were saying, "Oh, he's not celebrating. Doesn't mean he doesn't want to go." Yeah, he was having talks with fucking Ajax 3 months before he was even sold, and I could tell that. I could tell that cunt was.
Yeah, well, Declan Rice had talks with
he didn't want to be
Arsenal
here.
6 months
Never wanted
before.
to be here. Didn't suit our system. I'll tell you now, if Skamaka scores a massive fucking goal, big goal for us, and he doesn't celebrate, I'm getting pissed off. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but all right. Did you see Tonali when he got to Newcastle? He didn't smile. Maybe it's an Italian thing.
You know,
No, that's what I'm saying. No, exactly, because Tonali didn't want to come. He didn't want to be there. Skamaka
He's like,
signed, and then we
we
score massive. It's different if it's friendlies or it's a consolation. If we score a massive goal and Skamaka don't score, obviously I'm going to celebrate, but I will be pissed off with Skamaka if he don't celebrate.
It's so stupid.
Skamaka ain't fucking Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He's not the best striker in the world. He's not playing for fucking the best team in the world. He's playing for West Ham that are constantly fighting every season. And
maybe it's just business to him.
Right.
He knows he's supposed to do that.
Listen, right? Does a postman fucking celebrate when he delivers a fucking?
That's what I'm saying.
A letter. You fucking don't.
Hey!
Why would he not celebrate? Why would he not celebrate though?
Because you don't know his mentality. Maybe he
Well,
thinks...
it's a fucking shit mentality, and it's we're going to go to the fucking top.
No, because this is his job. He's paid to score goals, and what if he looks at it that way?
It's the same thing as where Harry Redknapp took the piss out of was it Yakubu or something?
Yeah.
Because he was like he wanted in his contract that if every time he scored a goal, he got like X amount of money back. And it's like, but your job is to score. I'm signing you to be a striker.
Would I love every player to celebrate and just like take their arm off and just throw it in the crowd and their legs as well, like fucking Mr. Potato Head?
Throwing
limbs. Yeah, but well, I've got to ask Mitch this though.
It doesn't bother me at all.
I've got to. So, Mitch, how do you want him to celebrate? Like, give me like an example of how you. Like, what's acceptable for you?
Mate, I want to see this smile. The fact he's not smiled sometimes when he scores, I'm like, the fuck? And this is the thing. We've seen it one time. I've seen it one time before West Ham. Maybe a couple more times. Last time was Haller.
Yeah.
And I've said it a minute ago. And guess what? He didn't want to be at the fucking club. And he fucking pepped up. He was being pepped up by fucking Ajax 3 months beforehand. Oh, surprise, surprise. It's Skamaka, don't score big goals.
I mean, at the end of the day, how many players at every club?
Unless Skamaka wants to bag, say, fucking 20 goals for us next season, but he's not gonna.
Well, if he does, mate, he's saving me 500 notes, and now if he's got to reveal his identity,
I don't know. You could ask any player if they really want to be somewhere. They'd probably be like, if I did want to be somewhere, I probably would like to be at Real Madrid, Barcelona. That'd be my dream.
But I'd rather have someone that didn't fucking celebrate than him do a Mario Balotelli.
I just don't care. That's my thing. I don't care.
So players that have this attitude have never made it to the top.
I mean,
unless they come in and they are the best, if you know what I mean.
All right, so we just need Skamaka to score and just
listen, right? I can imagine, him scoring in front of Mitch, and he just looks at Mitch like it just doesn't.
Oh, I hope he stares him dead in the fucking eyes.
I'm celebrating, and he comes up to me and stops. Stay cold.
Just gives him the bird too.
Like and I'm like, Skamaka, you can't. I grab my shirt. So you can't. I fucking bash
you ain't grabbing him. He would beat the shit out of you.
Boys, I don't get how you can't be annoyed with Skamaka not celebrating a big goal. I don't think that.
I don't care.
Yeah, but if he scored 20 goals and didn't celebrate once, Mitch, would you care?
Wait,
really?
Mitch, did Skamaka celebrate his goals at Sassuolo or whatever they're called?
Not really.
No, well, there you go. So what's the issue? He didn't do it there.
Because he saw them as a fucking stepping stone. Fucking shit club. Fucking shit.
Nah, you're on one, mate. Like it doesn't
West
matter. If he's
in the
doing
Premier
the
League,
job,
I want to see him celebrating.
No, do you know what?
I bet you'd fucking celebrate at Roma, eh?
Come on. No, look, I don't care. Look, at the end of the day, if he's not celebrating and not getting his top off, he's not getting a yellow card. Even better, win-win.
Yeah, he's quite true, Mitch. I must admit. At least it's fucking dull, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Passion.
Nah,
Say when
I'm
things are
content.
going shit, Skamaka scores, you don't celebrate. All the other players are like celebrating, but they're seeing.
I swear to
thinking,
God,
what
Mitch.
a wanker! What
Mitch.
a wanker! And then Bowen sees Skamaka throwing goals. So I'm passing and shoot. You can't. Because you ain't going to celebrate.
We'll just have to wait and see when he bags 20.
Yeah,
mate.
exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying?
No, we'll
Right.
see this time next year when he fucks us twice and he says, "Oh, I never watched to play under Moyes. That's why I never celebrated because he's a cunt."
Skamaka's bagging 20, and I'm telling you now, Suchek's the captain,
Oh
and he's
shit!
bagging
We've
10.
made an open offer for World Prowse apparently.
No.
Telegraph.
No. Don't do
25
it.
million.
25 million. That's a bid that's definitely going to get
That's
rejected.
but that's a good amount of money. 25.
But they don't want that. They don't want that. Oh,
Listen,
Yeah,
right?
but
Y'all,
listen. He'll go for 30. I'm on the
God.
JWP.
All I gotta
train.
say
if
is,
JWP comes in, he is my captain. He is my man. He is my boy.
I'm not
and
listen.
He is, he's good.
I'm not going that far, but if he comes
I
in, y'all
agree.
better run and hide.
Bruv,
Y'all better run and hide.
I'm going to be real, yeah. I'm going to be fucking real. 25 million when they want 40. Yeah, again. That's nowhere fucking near it.
Nah, but I reckon they would accept 30. No one else is coming in for JWP at the moment, so they'll panic.
And that tells you something that you all need to know, that he's...
I'll just start off with a 30 million bid, personally.
Yeah.
No, because I would rather we go, okay, 30, and then worst case scenario, 30, and then maybe 5 in add-ons, but we just go 30 on the dot now. Because that way it does feel more like a 30 million pound signing. I think that's the total of what he's worth. I think if a bid is put in, I think JWP will ask for a transfer request, but in a polite way because he's been there for a decade. So he won't want to piss off the fans. But I think no one would, take it against him. I think we put in a bid, he's going.
Correct, mate. I'll be vomiting, mate. Honestly, if we done that.
If we coughed up 40, I'd be embarrassed. But
yeah, but it wouldn't surprise us, right? Because let's be honest, if we're scrapping around the players, West Ham go just get someone in.
I don't think we're scrapping. There's loads of players available. There's still 5-6 weeks left of the window.
Don't even dare.
With Moyes' criteria, if this continues the way he wants to sign Premier League proven or his type of players, it does go to the end of the window. And we've got McTominay as our option for that position, Gallagher and Ward-Prowse. And we do end up buying Ward-Prowse for 40 million. At the end of the window, I'd be like, at least we got him at the end of the day. Like, I wouldn't be too, pissed off.
Well, I've just had a look on Twitter. Yeah, a little bit of news.
It's not Twitter anymore. It's called X. Give it its real name.
Not yet. It's not yet. Not yet.
No, it's got the X on the top.
Yeah.
You still tweet.
My Twitter, I click on Twitter and it says Twitter. So,
right.
Oh, really?
Now,
because you have an Android.
Right, I'm going to say this. Yeah.
Oh, fuck you, you punk. You homie punk ass bitch.
Right. Bids have gone in for Gallagher and McTominay.
Oh.
So our midfield is going to be Scott McTominay.
The way you feel about Ward-Prowse is the way I feel about McTominay
for Gallagher.
Except,
do you know what's really good?
Sorry.
Do you know what's really good? At the end of this season, we're going to see behind Lucas, right? He's got 2 blue and 1 white.
You're going to see a Flynn Downs kit.
No, he's going to see another white kit there, and next to Tevez, you're going to see McTominay.
That's bad, mate. That's fucking bad, mate.
If I had to choose another 30 years of life, like life or death, like Lucas, you're gonna die at 35 years old if you don't get this McTominay kit. I'm not buying that shit. I will go out and with honor because he is ass.
He's not bad, mate. He's fucking bad, mate. Do you know what I mean? I think people watch him in Scotland, and because Moyes is Scottish, they think he's going to turn into the next fucking big thing. But he's not fucking good, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? Anything else that you want to add before we wrap this up, gentlemen? Anything you want to discuss? Why the floor is yours.
I genuinely think Harry Maguire would be a good signing.
So go on.
Sorry.
I agree with Maguire.
I think Maguire's a good signing. I think everyone, okay, don't get me wrong, his Manchester United form has been absolutely diabolical. But look at our centre backs. How often does Zuma get injured? And if he ain't injured, he's kicking cats. So it's one or the other. And then the other 25% of the time, he does all right for us. But we do need. I think Maguire would be good. It would be the same as when we got Lingard. It'd probably improve in form. Look at what Maguire was like in Leicester. He was good. and I think he could revitalise and become. His England place wouldn't be in question. I think he'd be quite a good signing. Maybe on loan initially, but with a guarantee of buying. But I think that's more just because depending on what our other transfer targets are. But I don't think we should be dismissive of Maguire. I think it's a really good signing if we were to coo him away from Manchester United.
Mitch, what are you saying?
Just want to touch on a little subject, just really quickly, and nothing major. I don't want a big discussion about it, but I will say the Saudi Pro League and the owners and all them buying everything, and people trying to say they're not pissed off and it's good for football. You make me sick, and you're cunts. And the Saudi Pro League makes me sick to my stomach. And I just want to say a massive, massive, by the hat now, take it off, to Marco Silva, who rejected the approach from the Saudi Pro League yesterday.
Has that been confirmed?
40 million. Yeah.
Oh,
Rejected
wow.
the approach, and I thought, what a man. And I thought, I'm never going to diss that cunt again. And in fact, when he comes to the LS, or if I go to Fulham next season, I'm going to run on the pitch and hug him, because what a fucking man. Big respect to him.
But
and
don't worry, guys.
All the Arab owners, fuck off.
But don't worry, guys. You're going to see Mitch with Jack Cooper at the 2030 World Cup.
Let's ask all the
Saudi
other
Arabia.
clubs that Marco Silva has managed, and let's see if they say the same thing.
Yeah, we will see. We're going to say the same thing. Right, we're going to wrap it up there, gentlemen. We've done an hour and 11 minutes of pure West Ham passion. We're putting bids here, there, and everywhere, but we still signed fucking no one. And that is how it is with West Ham at the minute. Special like on the video, and please do subscribe to E20 Zone TV for me and all the boys on this channel. We'll be back in the week to talk about anything West Ham fucking related. Are we going to sign Gallagher, McTominay, fucking Bill and Ben? Who knows? Like, we're going to sign someone.
Get Zakari in, for fuck's sake.
Fucking at this rate, Clive and Mitch are on the verge of joining on a free. So anything is possible at West Ham United.
Kit.
All right, never mind. I lied.
Make it happen.
Get Alvarez in.
Get Alvarez fucking in, yeah.
I can't have Mitch playing as a 6.
Oh, Mitch would be a violent midfielder. I would say that he'd be like elbowing people in the face. I think. You know what I mean? 6'2", big bastard. Yeah.
6'2", eyes are screwed. He wants to fucking punch people.
Mitch would be the next. Was it Thomas Repka now?
Oh yeah. Fucking
I'd
whatever
be the
it
next
is.
fucking, what's his name? The one that went mental and hid in a caravan. What's his name?
Oh, Marco Bogas, you mean?
Marco Bogas.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Mate, fucking, he was fucking.
You know what I'd do? What would I do? So he done Gary Neville.
Right.
I would do
Who would be the one person that you would do in the Premier League?
Bruno Fernandes. Oh,
Fucking,
oh.
fair point. My missus a Man United fan.
Mine just left for Turkey today.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think it's Zaha. I thought of Zaha as well.
But no more Zaha. Right, we're going to leave it there. Special like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be back soon to talk all things fucking West Ham. Let's hope we get some signings, people. Do you know what I mean? I know it's a late night one. It's been a really, really good show. I've had 144 people in the chat. It's been really, really good.
Thank you all.
And yeah, to keep the faith. Do you know what I mean? It's just a struggle at the minute, but we are getting there slowly but surely. But we'll see what happens. Lucas, roll the outro. Thank you and good night.